Obviously coming off a really good weekend for us, going down the Bay Area, getting a sweep, first time in 29 years, but also had some things to get better at. At least we hung on both those games, but had learning to develop the way to finish those games that we weren't doing a month ago or whatever when we lost, or 2 months ago. So, and doing it on the road against a well-coached team. So really tickled. Obviously going into a tough stretch, but pretty thrilled about getting a chance to play a team that looks like they have a chance to play for it all, especially after watching last night. It looked really good. So we should have a good atmosphere, a good game, and we'll see what happens.
Jamie Vinnick, go ahead.
Coach, how's it going?
Great.
Good to hear. I guess the first pressing question has to be asked. Do you expect to have Deshaun this week?
It's 50-50. It's dependent on how his vision's doing and that stuff, but they would really be helpful Thursday night. I know that much.
Is there maybe a chance you don't have him Thursday, but do have him Saturday?
There's a chance for everything's on the table. So I'll know more day by day.
And then kind of the same thing. Is Jeff going to be back with you guys this week, or is he still going to be away?
He's probably going to be away.
Obviously this is a team in Arizona that, they can beat you in so many ways. They've got great guard play. They've got great wing play. They obviously have two of the best posts in the conference, maybe the best front court in the country. Gonzaga obviously being up there as well. How do you view a team like that? How do you kind of find a weakness? Where do you attack? Where do you say, hey, this is where we have to exploit a weakness? Or is there just not one?
They're pretty complete. I got to be honest. They're locked into the 8 guys they're going to play. Like you said, they have 3 really good front court guys. They can play big. They can play smaller. They pressure. They defensively, and they're pretty sound in what they're trying to do offensively. Luckily, I had 20 years. The WCC is very similar to. They play very similar style to Gonzaga. And you got to. It's a little bit. You got to be really tough mentally. You're going to have to try to take some. You can't let them just get up and down and just put you in the basket all night. It'll be a long night, so we're gonna have to. You got to defend them. You got to hopefully take care of the ball so you're not in transition. But they've lost 2 games. They played SC played them close till the very end, and they kind of separated home. So we'll have to play our best to get them, though. I know that.
This is a team that really has only played 7 road games this year, and obviously yesterday, was pretty close to home. And a lot of these guys, even though Mathurin, Tubelis, et cetera, these are all second-year guys, they didn't have a chance to play in front of road crowds last year. Do you see that as potentially being an advantage where these guys just don't have a ton of experience on the road? And then if you can get that atmosphere, get that environment in Beasley, it can maybe rattle these guys even just a little bit?
I would hope so. I think, I think everyone's a little bit haven't played in front of the crowds. We really haven't played. We've been good on the road, but we haven't had any raucous crowds. Colorado was in I don't think their students are there, but it was a decent crowd. But we should be loud and rocking. I think our students will be out there. On the road's tough in any league, anything, and Pullman's a tough place to play.
FA and Mo have been on a good little run lately. Mo being freshman of the week, FA obviously having a couple big games, but just kind of as we mentioned, this is a front court unlike any other that they've seen probably in their time at Washington State. How do you kind of prepare them saying, hey, you guys have been playing well? Well, here's the big challenge. Here are the guys that if you want to get to the next level, you're going to be facing night in and night out.
Well, there's a little familiarity with Balo and Koloko, just the African connections. So they know them a little bit. And we're we're giving up a little girth there to both of them. So we're going to have to use our quickness and athleticism and length to try to prevent them from scoring and compete with them on the glass. And they'll be ready. They know it's, they watch TV and they've heard enough about them, and they'll have to dig deep and be challenged and see what they can do.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
All right.
Colton Clark, go ahead.
Hey, Coach, how you doing?
Good, Colton. How are you?
Great, thanks a lot.
just kind of when you're on a streak like this, how much do you kind of not do you not want to talk about it, kind of with it within the team? Is it kind of a keep quiet about, when you're 5-game winning streak, something you don't really bring up as much?
Honestly, I didn't think about it till you asked the question, because you just kind of move. You got to plow forward, and we don't talk about it. But we're playing well and success, and you'll have some mojo, and you never know how guys are going to handle success. We could get away from what got us there, but I think this group's rounding into form, and they know that this is our biggest challenge and biggest test thus far. So we'll just be concentrated the next 72 hours trying to get ourselves ready to play this juggernaut.
And tough stretch coming up, but how much do you kind of highlight it as an opportunity with the guys?
I mean, they know. I don't think it needs to be highlighted. It's not like I said, like, if anything, you got to don't plug into ESPN. Don't check all that stuff. We got to go possession by possession. So trying to encourage them just to think there's going to be ebbs and flows, ups and downs. It's 10 games in 24 days. And, there's going to be a couple of possessions that could define your season one way or the other. And we can't get too emotional about anything, because it's like an NBA schedule. So I'm selling as NBA prep. You guys all want to play in the NBA. Here we go. This is what it's like, travel and playing games with short prep time and having to compete.
With the rescheduled games, how much input did you have, and are you pleased with where those games ended up back on the schedule?
It didn't have a lot of input, or more at the administrative level. And there's no easy way to squeeze them in, to be honest. So, that's as good as any. You're looking at 3 games in a week. It is what it is. And, it's just going to be challenging. But Colorado went through it, some other teams. It's just weird that we all have to go through different times. So, UCLA caught Arizona on a good little stretch there where they'd played Cal on Sunday, then played them Tuesday or something like that. So everyone's had to deal with it. We'll see. Hopefully we're tough enough and conditioned well enough to play through it.
And you mentioned it, but in what respects do you think Arizona most resembles GU in kind of their style of play? And is it the pace?
Tempo.
Okay.
They're really and they got a lead guard that similar. Like he's just a really good distributor passer. He can throw ahead. He can make all the passes. He can throw a 60-foot pass for a lob. He can throw a tight pocket pass. He makes all the passes, and he really understands how to play up tempo, and that's a lot with their program. When you got the speed they have on the perimeter, and they get their bigs running, you got Terry and Matherin running down the wings. They're really elite athletes. They just really put a lot of pressure on the transition.
Thanks a lot, Coach. Have a good one.
All right. Thanks, Cole.
Brenna Green, go ahead.
Hi, Coach Smith. I joined a little late in Jamie's questioning, so I hope I don't repeat any questions.
That's okay.
First of all, just, obviously that stretch in December where there was a few games that things didn't quite go your way. What does it mean to you to be at this point where you still have a shot at the NCAA tournament right now?
I think it's great for our program, just to be in that conversation, and played well enough. Whatever the net came out as, got us in the conversation. We obviously need to win. It was with these last 10 games, and we're probably going to have to perform well. We've got a lot of opportunities with some quad ones and quad twos, mostly quad ones. So it'll be defined here in this next stretch. So it'll be good for us either way. If we come out on top, terrific. That's amazing. But we're pretty young in some positions. We're going to lose Mike Flowers, who will be tough to replace. But I think this group is going to stick together and keep getting better. And that's what we need to do, is become the maturity of the program and to be in this conversation every year, hopefully.
You've mentioned the last 10 games, but especially the next 5 games are really huge. Just what is it like for you as a coach to have to prepare for 4 out of those 5 games are probably NCAA tournament teams?
It's why you coach at this level, to be honest, is that you get a chance to play against the best. I wouldn't mind them being spaced out a little bit. It's good. It's kind of a gauntlet. But like I said, it'll challenge everything. Our guys, they come here because they want to play against the best. The Pac-12 is and we sell the idea if you do well, and there's a lot of guys that are drafted in the NBA, and there's some pros you're playing against them. If it gives you that opportunity, so we'll see. And then if you're able to capture enough of those wins, you get to play in the event that I call, it's like for international guys, I say it's like World Cup every spring. That's, they might understand what World Cup is. I said, that's kind of what it is over here. So it'd be an awesome opportunity to be a part of that.
You talked about Thursday. Do you have any idea what attendance is looking like right now for that game?
No earthly clue. No earthly clue. I might have to go knock on doors Wednesday night, make sure we're coming.
And just, did you have any sort of relationship with Tommy Lloyd when you were coaching in the WCC or anything like that?
Yeah, obviously I don't know how many years, 9, 12 years. Early on, it was real competitive. and I left town and they kind of separated, but no, Tommy, just to the business and being in the WCC and, a lot of respect. We actually recruited internationally too. So we overlap on some guys, especially early. Ironically, it was more the French kids that we had when we were at St. Mary's that they were like with Ronnie Turioff, and I think they had a kid Diallo and stuff like that. We had some guys that we kind of overlapped on, and they were obviously had great success with Ronnie Turioff.
And just what is it like for you? I mean, San Francisco right now is in, but they're one of the teams that is kind of on the fringe. Just what is it like for you right now, knowing that your former program and now your program are kind of battling for the same spots?
It's great. It's like I said, actually text with Todd the other day. It said the Bennett tree's doing well. I said we said stop the count. Stop the count. Let's go. Let's see how it all shakes out. We might all get in there. But got a lot more. And I said, good luck against the Pilots. And I put in parentheses, not really. Let them dump one. Let's get them out of there. But no, I'm excited. They're done well. Todd's doing a really good job. Not surprised, really talented guy, talented coach. And probably, it's good. The guys at the alums and administration is really kind to us, to me, and then hired someone within our program. And Todd's done a good job of continue it and even improve upon it. And probably the best, it was probably the best team we've had since the program was shut down. I'm sure it is as of now, but hopefully he has some opportunities there. Just keep it rolling.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right.
Bruce Pascoe, go ahead.
Yeah, hey Kyle. I just wanted to double check first. You were talking about Arizona's lead guard before in the passing. I assume you're talking about Carissa?
Yeah.
Yeah, and had you, just to make sure 100%, had you come across him at all, with your international ties and tournaments and so forth?
Oh yeah, we tried to get involved with him when I first got here. And he was one of the first guys we saw, and him and another guard that ended up at St. Mary's, Augustus Marshallonis. So we're involved there, and I think we were. You ask him. You never know.
Okay.
We thought we were, but no, really impressed because honestly on the film he reminded me of a guy I coached at San Francisco, Frankie Ferrari. And I really thought he was like a 6-foot kid. Then I came over here. I said, "Oh my gosh, he's 6'3". He's big. Yeah. He's big. He's a good player.
Yeah, he gets he sort of developed a reputation for kind of having some swagger to his game and his personality. And did you see that, or do you remember seeing that at all in him? Just a kind of confident guy like that?
You know what? He threw such confident passes. Like he'll throw, like in his pick and roll stuff, he'd throw some, like, you could just tell he saw a lot of things. And that's kind of remind me. Ferrari was a guy we had at San Francisco who definitely had plenty of swag. Too much, yeah. But that's kind of what made him good. Same guy, like the guy you kind of root against because he's just a little cocky guy. And Chris is, that he needs that. And he gives him an identity. They get to really play fast, and he's always respect to him because he's a better defender than I thought. He'll take charges. He competes.
Yeah.
And that's important at that position too. Is a really vital position, and he makes them go.
Okay. And I'm wondering, you talking about the tournament possibility, and it seems like you guys are obviously you have a lot you can prove in the next 5 games, but your analytics are all over the place. I mean, a lot of them have you in the 30s. I don't know if you see this one, this Torvik, it's got you at 17, and I didn't know, like, how good do you feel like you guys are? Do you feel like you're a definite tournament team at this point, or
No,
top 30, top 35?
You know what? I think we've had playing with the COVID and everything. I think everything's kind of fell out pretty advantageous for us. And like I said, it's piling up here. So we'll know more in the next 5 days. But I think we're fully healthy. I think we're pretty good. And we've been close out. Just haven't had Deshaun, and we could really use him, especially against Arizona and SC again. Just having that girth inside. So if we can get whole there, and then I think we are pretty good. I just knew there was and I know we had 2 transfers that I knew we weren't very good early, but I knew we had a chance to get better, but our talent's pretty good, and FA wasn't healthy, wasn't practicing. He's starting to come on at the right time. Muhammad's a freshman I think he's got 3 freshmen of the week. So he's starting to get confident, and he's a good player. So I think we're still a work in progress, but like I said, if I was stop the count, I take our chances with the committee right now, but we'll see. We got some opportunities at home and on the road, and you're gonna have to do that eventually. You're gonna have to beat some good teams, and I think Stanford was our best win, I think, and they've had 4 quad 1 wins. Beating Colorado by the margin we did, but I think again we caught them on I think it was their 5th game or 4th game, and 5th game in 12 days or something. So we're going into that. So I don't want to, COVID's kind of screwed it up as far as the competitive imbalance on the scheduling. So we'll have to manage it, and everyone's had to do it, but it's see if we can survive it.
Everyone's had those weird ones, like you said, and I wondered about that Oregon. Maybe you already said this, but when you play at Oregon, are you going to go straight to LA, or do you come back, or how are you guys going to do that one?
We're going to come back.
Okay.
But
okay. And finally, just wondering, like,
go to class, Bruce. You got to go to class. Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. Just wondering one final thing. Just big picture, kind of. You spoke to a little bit, but just do you feel like it seems like your efficiency is better, your defense is better, you're not turning the ball over as much. All these kind of things are happening. Is it about what you expected? At this point, based on coming into this year and where you're at now. A little better than I thought, to be honest. I don't, especially we lost Kim Aiken late. I really thought he was going to be an integral part of our deal, just with his maturity and ability to defend inside and things like that. So it just put more pressure on a guy like Muhammad to have to come into form, and kind of done that, hurt our depth a little bit. But I'm pleased. But shocked, no, but ahead of schedule, I would say.